Do you know why narcissists target empaths and people-pleasers? Narcissists want someone who will tolerate their selfishness, excuse their bad behavior, and keep giving without asking for anything in return. Empaths and people-pleasers have traits that can potentially become a narcissistic supply, making them the perfect prey. Narcissists know exactly how to push their buttons, using guilt, manipulation, and love bombing to keep them hooked. Today, we'll explore the 8 reasons why narcissists target empaths and people-pleasers. Are you ready for number 1? Feeling everything deeply. If you're an empath, you don't just sense feelings, you absorb them like a human emotional sponge. This deep sensitivity makes you compassionate and understanding, but it also makes you a prime target for narcissists. So, when a narcissist projects their insecurities onto you, you end up carrying that emotional baggage as if it's yours to fix. And because you feel their pain so deeply, you might find yourself bending over backwards to soothe them, even when it's at your own expense. But here's the problem. Narcissists don't want to be healed. They just want someone to take responsibility for their misery. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a psychologist specializing in narcissistic abuse, warns that narcissists exploit an empath's deep emotional connection by using guilt, gaslighting, and love bombing to keep them hooked. They feed off your willingness to care, twisting your empathy into a trap. The only way to break free is to realize that not every pain you feel is yours to carry. Healthy love isn't about fixing. It's about mutual respect and emotional balance. Let's talk about number 2. Craving approval. If you consider yourself a people-pleaser, you thrive on making others happy, and a narcissist sees that as the perfect way to control you. They give just enough approval, a rare compliment, and a little affection or kindness to make you think you're finally getting through to them. However, just when you start to feel secure, they pull it away, leaving you scrambling to win it back. Dr. Harriet B. Breaker, author of The Disease to Please, explains that people-pleasers are conditioned to seek external validation, making them easy targets for manipulation. When approval feels like a rare prize instead of a normal part of a healthy relationship, you keep trying harder, never realizing that the game is rigged. This push and pull dynamic is no accident. It's psychological conditioning. B.F. Skinner, a famous psychologist, discovered that intermittent reinforcement rewards given at unpredictable times is one of the strongest ways to create addiction. It's the same reason people get hooked on slot machines. You never know when the next win is coming, so you keep playing. Narcissists use the same trick by keeping their affection unpredictable to keep you chasing it. But the truth is, you're not earning their approval. They're just using it as bait. The real win isn't trying harder. It's walking away and knowing you never needed their validation in the first place. Let's move on to number 3. Struggling with setting boundaries. Does saying no feel like you just committed a crime? If you're an empath or a people-pleaser, you probably struggle with setting boundaries because guilt creeps in the moment you try. Narcissists love this. They see your hesitation as an open invitation to take more than they should. Dr. Nedra Glover Tawwab, therapist and author of Set Boundaries, Find Peace, explains that people-pleasers often associate boundaries with selfishness, when in reality, they are just self-respect in action. Dr. Henry Cloud, co-author of Boundaries, warns that when you don't set limits, you train people to believe you don't have any. And that's exactly what a narcissist wants: a limitless supply of your time, energy, and emotional labor. The key to breaking free isn't just learning to say no, but understanding that you don't owe an explanation for it. A healthy relationship respects boundaries. A narcissist sees them as a challenge. With that in mind, you must stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. Now, let's continue to number 4. Seeing the best in everyone. What if I just love them enough? Won't they change? If you're an empath, you've probably asked yourself this question more times than you can count. You focus on a person's potential, not their actions, which makes it hard to leave, even in a toxic relationship. Narcissists take full advantage of this by showing glimpses of vulnerability or faking remorse just enough to keep you hooked. Dr. Sherry Campbell, psychologist and author of But It's Your Family, explains that empaths often believe they can love someone into healing. The problem is that narcissists don't want to heal. They thrive on control, and as long as you believe in their potential, they'll keep feeding you empty promises to string you along. This belief in redemption isn't a weakness. It's a beautiful trait, but only when given to people who want to grow. A narcissist sees your faith in them as an opportunity, not as a reason to change. You can't fix someone who doesn't see themselves as broken. The only person you can save in this situation is yourself. And that starts by realizing that love isn't about sacrificing yourself for someone who refuses to meet you halfway. You shouldn't miss number 5. Seeking emotional intimacy. If you're an empath, you crave deep, meaningful connections, and narcissists know exactly how to fake one. In the beginning, they mirror your values, interests, and even your emotions. They make you feel like you've found someone who truly understands you. Dr. Craig Malkin, author of Rethinking Narcissism, explains that narcissists use a tactic called mirroring, which means copying their victim's personality to create the illusion of a perfect match. This makes you feel instantly connected, like you've found a rare emotional bond. But it's only a carefully crafted performance to make you trust them before they reveal their true nature. Once they have you emotionally invested, the mask starts slipping. The deep connection you thought you had begins to feel one-sided, and suddenly your vulnerability is being used against you. Narcissists love the feeling of being admired and depended on, but they have no interest in reciprocating. And because empaths are naturally open-hearted, they keep holding on, hoping to get back to the closeness they thought was real. But the truth is, emotional intimacy can't exist with someone who only pretends to care. The only way to protect yourself is to recognize that real connection is built over time, not instantly manufactured by someone who only wants power over your emotions. Are you still up for number 6? High levels of empathy. You'd never let a friend suffer the way you let yourself suffer. So why is it different when it's you? If you're an empath, you have a heart that aches for others, even those who hurt you. You see a narcissist's pain, their childhood wounds, their struggles, and instead of walking away, you stay, thinking they just need more love, patience, and understanding. This is exactly how narcissists keep you trapped. They know you'll feel guilty for leaving, that you'll convince yourself they need you, even as they tear you down. Dr. Judith Orloff, psychiatrist and author of the Empath Survival Guide, warns that this self-sacrificing nature is what makes empaths so easy to manipulate. True empathy isn't about destroying yourself for someone who refuses to change. It's about balance, caring for others without abandoning yourself. The moment you start treating yourself with the same kindness you show everyone else, you take away a narcissist's power over you. Let's keep it moving to number 7. Easy to isolate. Empaths and people-pleasers have a habit of prioritizing their relationships, often at the expense of their own needs. Narcissists see this as the perfect opportunity to slowly isolate you from your support system. At first, it's subtle. Maybe they make you feel guilty for spending time with friends or convince you that your family doesn't understand you. Over time, you start relying on them more and more, until one day you look around and realize they're the only person left in your corner. The fewer people you have to turn to, the easier it is for a narcissist to manipulate you. Dr. Christine Courtois, a trauma expert and author of It's Not You, It's What Happened to You, warns that once you're cut off from outside perspectives, it becomes much harder to recognize the toxicity of the relationship. But here's the good news. Reconnection is possible. The moment you reach out, whether it's to an old friend, a family member, or even a therapist, you break the cycle. Love should never require isolation, and anyone who tries to separate you from the people who care about you isn't protecting you. They're controlling you. Finally, we're down to number 8. Confuse abuse with passion. Narcissists are experts at creating emotional chaos, and if you're an empath or a people-pleaser, you might mistake that chaos for passion. One day, they shower you with love, making you feel like the center of their world. The next, they withdraw, criticize, or create conflict, leaving you desperate to win back their affection. Dr. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist, explains that unpredictable affection triggers the brain's dopamine system, the same reward system activated in addiction. This is why leaving feels so hard. Your nervous system is wired to chase the next good moment, even if it never lasts. This cycle, known as trauma bonding, tricks you into believing that the pain is proof of a deep connection. But real love isn't a game of emotional survival. It's steady, safe, and doesn't leave you questioning your worth. If you've ever felt like narcissists are drawn to you, it's not because you're weak, but because you have something they want. Your kindness, empathy, and willingness to give make you a target, but they don't have to make you a victim. The key is recognizing the patterns, setting boundaries, and reminding yourself that real love doesn't come with manipulation or constant sacrifice. So, the next time a narcissist comes knocking, remember, you're not here to be their supply. You deserve relationships where you're valued, not drained.